the door opened, and everything stopped. Not slowed, not paused, stopped. My mom's voice cut off mid-sentence like someone hit mute. My dad turned around so fast his chair scraped the floor. And for a second, nobody breathed. "You're not supposed to be here." That's the first thing he said to me. Not hello, not are you okay? Just that. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for updates. I stood there, one hand still on the hospital door, the other gripping a crumpled visitor badge with my name printed across it. Elena Reyes, age 27. 5 years. That's how long it had been since I'd seen them. And somehow, this is where it happened again. Another doorway, another moment where I didn't belong. Inside the room, machines hummed softly. The steady rhythm of a heart monitor filled the silence no one wanted to break. And on the bed, Marina, my younger sister. She looked smaller than I remembered. Pale, fragile, tubes running into her arms. But her face? Still the same, still sharp, still aware. Still the reason I left. My mom, Lydia, took a step back like I was something unreal. Like if she blinked, I'd disappear. My dad, Victor, just stared, his expression hardening the longer he looked at me. And in that moment, I realized something. Nothing had changed. They still believed her. You ever walk into a room and instantly know you're the villain in someone else's story? That's what this felt like. Except, I never told my side. Not once. 5 years ago, Marina said something about me. Something big enough to shatter everything. Big enough that my parents didn't hesitate, didn't question, didn't ask me a single thing. They just chose her. And I let them. I didn't argue, didn't defend myself. I packed a bag that same night and walked out like it didn't matter. But it did. They missed everything after that. My graduation, my wedding, every milestone that was supposed to mean something. Silence. Total silence. So why was I here now? Because a month ago, Marina was rushed to this hospital. And somehow, someone made sure I found out. I wasn't supposed to know. I wasn't supposed to come. And yet, here I was, standing in the doorway like a ghost they never buried. Then it happened. A small movement from the bed. Marina's eyes slowly opened. They landed on me. And instead of relief, instead of surprise, she looked terrified. "Why did you come?" That's the first thing Marina said. Not hi, not Elena, just that. Her voice was weak, but sharp underneath. Like even now, lying in a hospital bed, she was trying to control the room. I didn't answer right away. Instead, I stepped inside and let the door close behind me with a soft click. The same kind of sound I remembered from 5 years ago. Quiet. Final. "You shouldn't be here," my dad added, his tone lower this time. Less shock, more warning. Funny, isn't it? 5 years, no calls, no messages, no interest in whether I was alive or not. But now, suddenly, my presence was a problem. I glanced at my mom. Lydia wouldn't even look at me. Her arms were folded tight, like she was holding herself together. And Marina, she kept staring at me like she was trying to figure something out. Not why I came, but how. Let me ask you something. If you lied about someone, really lied, and they disappeared without a fight, what would scare you more? That they left? or that they came back. Because that's what this was. I took another step forward, stopping at the foot of her bed. 5 years ago, this all started in the living room. I can still see it clearly. Marina crying, my mom rushing to her side, my dad standing there, stunned. And then, the accusation. It hit like a bomb. Sudden, loud, irreversible. I remember waiting for someone, anyone, to turn to me and ask, "Is that true?" No one did. Marina told her version, emotional, convincing, detailed in all the right ways. And me? I just stood there because the second I saw my parents' faces, I knew. They had already decided. She wouldn't lie about something like this, my mom said back then. That was it. That was the moment everything ended. So I packed a bag. No yelling, no begging, no explanation. At the door, I paused. I thought maybe, just maybe, someone would stop me. My dad didn't. He said, "If this is who you are, you're not welcome here." And that was the last thing I heard before I left. No one came after me. No one called. Not even once. Back in the hospital room, the silence stretched again. Marina shifted slightly, wincing, but her eyes never left mine. Still calculating, still watching, like she was waiting for me to say something first. But I didn't come here to explain myself. I reached into my bag slowly, and that's when my dad's expression changed. Not confusion. Recognition. Real, immediate recognition. "I didn't come for you," I said calmly. I pulled out a sealed envelope. "I came because someone sent me this." And just like that, the air in the room shifted. "Where did you get that?" My dad's voice came out sharper than before. Urgent, controlled, but barely. That was new. 5 years ago, he didn't ask questions. Now, suddenly, he had one. I didn't answer him right away. Instead, I looked down at the envelope in my hands, slightly bent at the corners. No return address. My name typed neatly across the front, like whoever sent it didn't want to risk handwriting. "I got it a week ago," I said. No name, just this. I slid a finger under the flap and opened it slowly. No one moved. Not my mom, not my dad, not even Marina. Inside were a few sheets of paper and something heavier. I pulled out the papers first, printed screenshots, messages. My mom leaned forward slightly despite herself. My dad stepped closer without realizing it. "Read them," I said, holding them out, but not letting go yet. He hesitated. That hesitation, that was the first crack. Finally, he took them. His eyes scanned the page once, then again, slower this time. And that's when his face changed. Not anger, not denial. Confusion. "What is this?" he muttered. I tilted my head slightly. "Keep reading." Across the screen, captures were text messages from Marina, time-stamped, dated, from 5 years ago. And they didn't match her story, not even close. Lines like, "I just need them to believe me. Once they do, she's out. They always take my side anyway." My mom shook her head immediately. No, this could be fake." But her voice didn't sound certain. It sounded scared. I finally let go of the papers. My dad's hands were tight around them now. Behind him, Marina shifted suddenly. "No," she said quickly. Too quickly. "Those aren't real." Her breathing picked up, not weak anymore, but uneven. Panic. I reached back into the envelope. There's more. This time, I pulled out a small USB drive. And that's when everything really changed. My dad didn't say anything, but he stepped back. Like instinct kicked in. Like part of him already knew whatever was on that drive was worse. I haven't shown anyone else, I said. That wasn't entirely true, but they didn't need to know that yet. I thought you deserved to see it first. Don't, Marina snapped suddenly, her voice cracking as she pushed herself up slightly. You don't even know what that is. I looked at her for the first time since pulling it out. Really looked at her. And there it was. Not fear of me. Fear of the truth. You're right, I said quietly. I don't. I held up the USB between my fingers. But I think you do. The room went completely still. Then I asked the question no one was ready for. Do you want to tell them, or should I? Marina froze. And for the first time in 5 years, she had nothing to say. The heart monitor started beeping faster, not loud, but fast enough that everyone noticed. That sharp, steady rhythm. It was the only thing breaking the silence now. Marina didn't answer my question. She just stared at me, frozen. So I made the choice for her. Okay, I said quietly. I walked over to the small tray beside her bed and set my bag down. My hands were steady, calmer than I expected them to be. You'd think this moment would feel bigger, angrier. But it didn't. It felt inevitable. I pulled out my tablet and plugged in the USB. Behind me, I could feel my parents watching. Not moving, not speaking. Just waiting. The screen lit up. One file, just one. Audio. I tapped it. At first, nothing but static. Then, a voice. Her voice. Clear, casual, familiar. Marina. The recording started, followed by a soft laugh. I just need them to believe me. No one moved, not even Marina. They will. Another voice said faintly in the background, someone else, barely audible. Marina again, sharper this time. They always do, especially my mom. Elena doesn't even argue half the time. It's actually kind of perfect. My mom made a small sound, not a word, just something breaking. The recording continued. I know it sounds bad, but it's not like I'm hurting her permanently. She'll just leave or whatever, and things can go back to normal. Back to normal. I watched my dad out of the corner of my eye. His shoulders dropped slightly, like something heavy had just settled onto him and wasn't going anywhere. And once she's gone, Marina's voice added, quieter now. I won't have to compete with her anymore. Click. The audio stopped. Just like that. Silence again. But this time, it wasn't the same silence. This one had weight. My mom covered her mouth, her eyes locked on Marina like she didn't recognize her anymore. My dad took a step back. One step. That was all, but it said everything. And Marina? She was crying now, tears streaming down her face. But something about it felt different. Not regret, not fully. More like collapse. Like the version of herself she built had nowhere left to stand. She started, her voice shaking. Then she stopped, swallowed, looked at our parents, and finally said the one thing she'd avoided for 5 years. I didn't think it would go this far. And just like that, the truth wasn't hiding anymore. I didn't think it would go this far. That was her defense. Not, it didn't happen. Not, it's fake. Just that. The room stayed quiet, but now it was a different kind of silence. The kind that comes after something irreversible finally lands. My dad spoke first. Slow, careful, like every word weighed something. What exactly didn't you think would go this far? Marina's breathing shook. Her fingers tightened around the hospital blanket. I needed them to see me, she said, her voice cracking. Everything was always about Elena. Her school, her future, her everything. That wasn't true, but it didn't matter. That's how she saw it. So you lied? My mom whispered. No anger, no yelling, just disbelief. Marina nodded. Small, weak, final. And just like that, the last piece clicked into place. Logical payoff. Everything became clear. The accusation 5 years ago, fabricated. The details, carefully exaggerated. The timing, intentional, right when my life was moving forward. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she knew exactly who would believe her. Emotional payoff. My mom broke first. A quiet, shaking sob as she sat down in the chair beside the bed, but not close enough to touch Marina. I didn't even ask you, she said, looking at me now. I didn't even give you a chance to speak. That was the part that stayed with her. Not the lie, the choice. My dad didn't cry. He just stood there, staring at the floor like he was replaying 5 years in his head, trying to find the moment he could have stopped it. There were signs, he muttered. Things didn't add up. He looked at me, and for the first time in 5 years, he didn't look at me like I was a stranger or a problem, just someone he failed. I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding for years. I waited, I said. That night, I waited for one of you to ask me if it was true. Neither of them answered. Because they couldn't. Payoff. Things didn't magically fix after that. They couldn't. Over the next few weeks, the truth spread through the family. Slowly at first, then all at once. Relatives who once cut me off started reaching out. Apologies, explanations, regret. I didn't answer most of them. My parents tried. Calls, messages, even showing up once. But rebuilding something you broke that completely, that takes more than guilt. And Marina? Her world shifted overnight. Friends distanced themselves when they found out. The same people who once defended her stopped calling. Even in that hospital room, something between her and our parents had changed. Not gone, but fractured. The day I left the hospital, my mom followed me into the hallway. Can we fix this? She asked. I stopped. Thought about it. 5 years. Everything they missed. Everything I built without them. You can start by believing me now, I said. Then I looked back at her, just once. But that doesn't undo 5 years. I walked away after that. And this time, it didn't feel like I was being pushed out. It felt like I was choosing to leave. Outside, the air felt different, lighter. Not because everything was fixed, but because the truth was finally where it belonged. Out in the open. And for the first time in 5 years, it wasn't following me anymore.